Before you go any further, ask yourself one question: who was really there when you had nothing? Because in the next few moments, you're about to realize not everybody in your life earned their place. And once you see it, you'll never look at people the same way again. Let me tell you something, and I need you to really hear me. Life has a funny way of changing your circle. When you're starting out, when you've got nothing but a dream and maybe a little bit of hope, not everybody is clapping for you. Not everybody believes in you. In fact, most people don't even see you. But there are a few, just a few, who choose to stand by you anyway. Remember your day ones. The people who stood beside you before anything made sense, before there was proof, before there was applause. Back when all you had was an idea, a vision, something in your heart that nobody else could fully see. Those were the days when doubt was louder than confidence, when quitting felt easier than continuing, and when the world didn't really pay attention. But somehow, in the middle of all that uncertainty, there were a few people who chose to stay. They didn't need evidence. They didn't need guarantees. They just believed in you. Those people saw something in you when you were still trying to see it in yourself. They listened to your plans when they sounded crazy. They encouraged you when things fell apart. They reminded you of your strength when you felt weak. And most importantly, they didn't disappear when there was nothing to gain from being around you. That kind of support is rare. It's not loud, it's not flashy, but it's real. It's the kind of presence that holds you together when everything else feels like it's falling apart. As life moves forward and things start to change, it becomes easy to get caught up in the noise of success. New people come into your life. Opportunities open up. Recognition starts to follow you. And without even realizing it, your focus begins to shift. The struggle that once defined you starts to feel distant. The quiet moments, the small beginnings, the people who were there through it all, they can slowly fade into the background if you're not careful. But that's where you have to stop yourself and remember, because success doesn't erase the past. It's built on it. Every step forward is connected to those early days and the people who walked them with you. Forgetting them isn't just about losing touch with others. It's about losing touch with who you are and where you came from. The truth is, not everyone who shows up later understands your journey. They see the results, but they didn't feel the pressure. They celebrate the outcome, but they didn't carry the weight. Your day ones did. They were there when things were uncertain, when progress was slow, when nothing was guaranteed. They stayed when it was inconvenient. They supported you when it wasn't popular. And that's why they matter. That's why they should never be overlooked or replaced by people who only show up when everything is already working out. Hold on to those people. Appreciate them while you can. Let them know they matter, not just in words, but in how you treat them as your life evolves. Because in the end, success is not just about how far you go. It's also about who's still standing with you when you get there. And the ones who were with you from the beginning, they're the ones who truly deserve to be there at the end. Loyalty is something a lot of people talk about, but very few truly understand. It's easy to say you're loyal when life is going well, when everything is smooth, when there's no pressure, no stress, no real test of character. In those moments, almost anyone can stand beside you. Almost anyone can smile, support you, and claim they've got your back. But the truth is, that's not where loyalty is proven. Loyalty reveals itself when things start falling apart, when the pressure rises, when the situation becomes uncomfortable and uncertain. When you're going through hard times, everything changes. The energy shifts. The excitement fades. The benefits of being around you might disappear. That's when people start making choices. Some begin to distance themselves. Some make excuses. Some quietly walk away without saying a word, not because they hate you, but because the situation no longer serves them. And that's the moment you start to see clearly. That's when you begin to understand who is truly in your corner and who is just there for convenience. Real loyalty doesn't look for easy conditions. It doesn't depend on success, status, or comfort. It stands firm when things get difficult. It shows up when there's nothing to gain. It stays when leaving would be easier. The people who are loyal to you are the ones who don't disappear when your world gets heavy. They don't turn their backs when you're struggling. Instead, they step closer. They check on you. They support you, even if they don't fully understand what you're going through. They choose you, not because it benefits them, but because they value you. Struggle has a way of exposing the truth. It removes the mask people wear. It strips away the surface level connections and reveals what's real underneath. In good times, everyone can look like they belong. But in hard times, only a few will actually stay. And those few, those are the ones you need to pay attention to. Those are the ones who prove their loyalty without needing to announce it. It's important to recognize that loyalty is not about perfection. Loyal people won't always have the right words. They won't always know exactly how to help, but they will be there. Their presence will speak louder than anything else. They will stand with you, even in silence, even in confusion, even when things don't make sense. That consistency, that willingness to stay through discomfort, is what defines true loyalty. So don't measure loyalty by who celebrates you when you're winning. Measure it by who stands with you when you're struggling. Pay attention to who remains when everything becomes uncertain, because those are the people who are genuine. Those are the ones who are not attached to your success, but to you as a person. Not everyone earns the same seat in your life, and that's something you have to understand as you grow. As your journey unfolds and success starts to take shape, new people will naturally begin to show up. They'll be drawn to your energy, your progress, your achievements. They'll see the results of your hard work and want to be part of it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Growth brings new connections, new opportunities, and new relationships. But what you have to be careful about is confusing presence with loyalty and access with earned trust. The truth is, the people who enter your life during your success are not starting from the same place as those who were there when things were uncertain. They didn't witness the sleepless nights, the self-doubt, the setbacks that made you question everything. They didn't see you when you were trying to figure it all out with no guarantee that it would ever work. They didn't stand beside you when there was nothing to celebrate, when progress was slow and invisible. And because of that, their connection to your journey is different. That doesn't make them bad people, but it does mean they haven't earned the same level of trust, the same depth of understanding, or the same position in your life. The ones who stayed through your struggles paid a different kind of price. They invested their time, their energy, and their belief in you when there was no return. They chose to stand by you when it wasn't easy, when it wasn't popular, when it didn't benefit them. That kind of commitment builds a foundation that cannot be replicated by someone who only arrives once everything is already in place. As success grows, it can be tempting to treat everyone equally, to open the door wide and give everyone the same level of access. But not everyone should have the same seat at your table. Some people belong in the front row of your life because they helped you build it. Others are meant to be in the audience, appreciating what you've become without having a direct influence on your decisions or your inner circle. Understanding that difference is not about being arrogant or exclusive. It's about protecting what matters and honoring the journey you've been through. You have to learn to assign value based on history, consistency, and intention. The people who walked with you when things were hard have already shown you who they are. They've proven their loyalty through action, not words. They've earned their place through time and trust. And that kind of bond deserves to be respected, not overlooked or replaced by newer connections that haven't been tested. At the same time, you can still welcome new people into your life. You can build meaningful relationships and create new memories. But those connections should grow naturally over time. They should be built on shared experiences, not just admiration for your success. Trust should be developed, not handed out freely. Success has a way of changing your perspective, sometimes so gradually that you don't even realize it's happening. As you grow, as doors begin to open and opportunities start to multiply, your life begins to move at a different pace. Things that once felt distant start becoming part of your reality. You meet new people, step into new environments, and begin to experience a version of life you once only imagined. And in the middle of all that movement, it becomes very easy to lose sight of where you started and who stood beside you along the way. It's not always intentional. You don't wake up one day and decide to forget the people who supported you. It happens in small ways. You get busy. Your priorities shift. Your time becomes limited. The same people who once had constant access to you now have to wait. Conversations become shorter. Check-ins become less frequent. And slowly, without meaning to, distance begins to grow. Meanwhile, new faces start filling that space, people who are connected to your current success, people who see you for what you've become rather than what you've been through. The danger in that shift is not the growth itself, but the disconnection it can create, because success can sometimes make you focus so much on what's ahead that you forget the foundation that got you there. It can make you value visibility over loyalty, convenience over history. And if you're not careful, you might start giving your time and energy to people who haven't walked your journey, while unintentionally neglecting those who helped you build it. Staying grounded requires awareness. It requires you to pause and reflect, even when life is moving fast. It means remembering the moments when things were uncertain, when support mattered the most, when a simple word of encouragement could change your entire day. It means holding on to the people who were present during those times, not just in memory, but in your actions. Being grounded is not about rejecting growth or avoiding new relationships. It's about balance. It's about understanding that while your life is expanding, your values should remain steady. The people who stood by you before success should never feel like they've been replaced by it. They should still feel seen, respected, and appreciated, not because of what you owe them, but because of what they mean to you. Gratitude plays a big role in this. When you remain grateful, you stay connected to your roots. You recognize that your journey was not a solo effort. You understand that behind every step forward, there were moments where someone encouraged you, supported you, or simply stayed when you needed it most. That awareness keeps you humble. It keeps you real. Real ones are rare, and that's something life teaches you over time, not all at once. In the beginning, it might feel like you have a lot of people around you. Conversations are easy, laughter is frequent, and support seems to come from all directions. But as life unfolds and challenges begin to show up, you start to notice a shift. The circle gets smaller, the noise quiets down, and what's left are just a few people who continue to stand beside you no matter what changes around you. Genuine supporters are not defined by how loud they are or how visible they seem when everything is going well. They are defined by their consistency. They show up in ways that don't always get noticed. They check on you without needing a reason. They stand with you when things are uncertain, even when they don't fully understand what you're going through. Their presence is steady, not temporary. And that's what makes them different from everyone else. The truth is, it's easy to find people who want to be around success. It's easy to find people who want to share the spotlight, who want to celebrate the wins, who want to be associated with something that's growing. But it's much harder to find people who are willing to stay when things aren't exciting, when progress is slow, when there's nothing to gain. Those are the moments that separate real connections from surface level ones. And the people who remain in those moments, those are your real ones. Because real ones don't measure their support based on what they get in return. They don't keep score. They don't disappear when things become inconvenient. They stay because they value you, not your circumstances. They see you beyond your success and beyond your struggles. Their loyalty is rooted in who you are, not in what you have or what you've achieved. Losing people like that is not something you can easily replace. You can meet new people, build new relationships, and create new experiences, but genuine supporters hold a different place in your life. They are part of your foundation. They've seen you at your lowest and still chose to stand with you. They've been part of your growth, part of your journey, part of the moments that shaped who you are. That kind of connection is built over time through shared experiences, through trust, through moments that can't be recreated. When you lose real ones, you don't just lose their presence, you lose a part of that history. You lose the people who understood your journey without needing an explanation. You lose the comfort of knowing that someone is there not because they have to be, but because they want to be. And that kind of loss is deeper than it seems on the surface. That's why it's important to recognize and appreciate those people while they're still in your life. Don't take their presence for granted. Don't assume they'll always be there no matter what. Relationships, even the strongest ones, require care and respect. They require effort, honesty, and appreciation. At the end of the day, life will test every relationship you have. It will show you who was there for the moment and who was there for you. As you grow, as you rise, as you step into new levels of success, never lose sight of the people who walked with you when the road was uncertain. Never confuse attention with loyalty or presence with genuine support. The truth is simple, real ones are few, but they are everything. Your journey is not just about how far you go, but about who remains beside you when everything changes. The ones who stood with you in silence, who believed in you without proof, who stayed when it wasn't easy, those are the people who helped shape your story. They are your foundation, your strength, your reality check when life starts to move too fast. So as you move forward, carry gratitude with you. Stay grounded in your roots. Protect your circle, value loyalty, and never let success rewrite your memory. Because when everything else fades, when the noise quiets down, and when the spotlight dims, the only thing that will truly matter is who's still standing there with you. And if you've held on to the right people, you won't just have success, you'll have something far more valuable. You'll have real ones by your side, and that's what makes the journey worth it.